This is how acting unbothered transforms from an attitude into a performance advantage. Distraction often disguises itself as importance. People convince themselves that every opinion deserves a response, that every emotional trigger must be addressed. But high-level performers understand something different. Not everything deserves access to your mind. Acting like you don't care creates a filter. You become selective about what you allow to influence you. You stop reacting to low-value stimuli and start investing your attention into work, growth, and execution. This selectivity is what separates movement from momentum. As your focus sharpens, your actions become more deliberate. You stop multitasking emotionally. You stop switching goals based on mood or external pressure. Instead, you move with intention. You work deeper, think clearer, and make decisions faster because your mind is not cluttered with irrelevant concerns. Acting unbothered trains your brain to stay present, and presence is where excellence lives. Nothing meaningful is created from a distracted state. Over time, this disciplined focus becomes your competitive edge. While others are emotionally drained, mentally scattered, and constantly reacting, you remain centered and forward-moving. Acting unbothered does not make you passive. It makes you precise. Your energy goes where it matters most, and because of that, your progress accelerates. Emotional detachment builds inner strength. Most people believe strength comes from intensity, from feeling everything deeply and reacting instantly. But real inner strength is built through emotional discipline, not emotional overflow. Emotional detachment does not mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being controlled by what you feel. When you act like you don't care about every emotional trigger, you create space between stimulus and response. And in that space, you gain choice. Choice is the birthplace of strength. When emotions run unchecked, they distort perception. Small problems feel massive. Temporary setbacks feel permanent. Opinions feel like personal attacks. Emotional detachment restores perspective. You begin to see situations as they are, not as your emotions color them. This clarity allows you to respond intelligently instead of reacting impulsively. Over time, each calm response strengthens your confidence in your ability to handle pressure, uncertainty, and conflict without losing yourself. Detachment also protects your energy. Emotional reactions are expensive. They drain focus, disrupt sleep, and hijack decision-making. When you learn to step back emotionally, you stop bleeding energy into situations that don't deserve it. You become more resilient because you are no longer exhausted by every challenge. This resilience builds an internal sense of stability, a quiet confidence that says, no matter what happens, I can handle it. That belief alone is a powerful form of strength. As inner strength grows, fear begins to lose its authority. Fear thrives on emotional attachment to outcomes, approval, control, or certainty. Emotional detachment weakens fear because you are no longer clinging to a specific result. You act not because you were guaranteed success, but because you trust yourself to adapt. This mindset allows you to move forward even when conditions are unclear, which is exactly where growth lives. Eventually, emotional detachment becomes a foundation. Not caring makes you more respected. Respect is not demanded, chased, or negotiated. It is earned through presence, consistency, and self-assurance. One of the fastest ways to lose respect is to appear needy for approval. When people sense that you need validation, agreement, or reassurance, they unconsciously place you in a lower position. Acting like you don't care about being liked removes that dynamic entirely. It signals that you are secure in who you are. And security is something people naturally respond to with respect. When you stop over-explaining yourself, stop justifying your decisions, and stop seeking permission to stand by your choices, your words carry more weight. You speak less, but you mean more. You move with intention rather than urgency. This calm certainty communicates confidence without saying a word. People may not always agree with you, but they feel your groundedness, and grounded individuals are taken seriously because they are not easily shaken. Not caring also strengthens your boundaries, and boundaries are the backbone of respect. When you are willing to walk away from situations that drain you, disrespect you, or compromise your values, you send a clear message. Your time and energy matter. People quickly learn how to treat you based on what you tolerate. Acting unbothered is not about being dismissive. It is about being selective, and selectivity commands respect. There is also a psychological shift that occurs when you stop trying to impress. You become more authentic. You stop performing and start leading. This authenticity creates trust because people can sense when someone is not wearing a mask. They know where you stand. They know what you expect. And that clarity makes interactions cleaner, stronger, and more balanced. Respect grows in environments where expectations are clear and self-worth is evident. Over time, the respect you receive externally mirrors the respect you give yourself internally. When you stop caring about approval, you start operating from self-respect, and self-respect is magnetic. People may test it, but they will ultimately acknowledge it. Not caring doesn't make you distant, it makes you solid. And solidity is what people rely on, follow, and respect. When you stop caring, you start winning. Winning begins the moment you stop wasting energy on things that do not move your life forward. Most people are exhausted not because they work too hard, but because they care about too much. That is, they care about too much that is irrelevant to their growth. They worry about being misunderstood, judged, or rejected, and that constant emotional weight slows momentum. When you stop caring about those distractions, your energy returns to its rightful place, execution. And execution is where progress turns into results. Acting like you don't care removes hesitation. You stop waiting for perfect timing, perfect confidence, or perfect approval. You move. You take action even when conditions are not ideal. This bias toward action is what separates winners from spectators. Winners are not fearless. They are detached from outcomes enough to try. They understand that success is built through movement, not comfort, and caring less about failure gives them the freedom to move faster and learn quicker. As you stop caring about external opinions, your decisions become more aligned with your long-term vision. You no longer make choices to look good in the moment. You make choices that build something meaningful over time. This alignment creates consistency, and consistency creates momentum. Small disciplined actions, repeated daily without emotional drama, compound into massive results. This is how winning quietly takes shape before it ever becomes visible. Not caring also sharpens resilience. When setbacks happen, and they always do, you don't collapse emotionally, you adjust. You adapt and you continue. You stop interpreting obstacles as personal defeats and start seeing them as part of the process. This emotional neutrality toward challenges keeps you in the game longer. And longevity is one of the most underestimated advantages in success. The longer you stay focused and committed, the more likely you are to win. Eventually, winning becomes less about external achievement and more about internal control. You win because you are no longer ruled by fear, approval, or emotional volatility. You wake up focused. You move with purpose. You move with purpose. You sleep without regret. This inner alignment creates outer success almost as a side effect. When you stop caring about what doesn't matter, you unlock the discipline, clarity, and confidence that make winning inevitable.